Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are doing well and in high spirits despite these difficult circumstances posed by COVID-19. My name is Avni and I am having the honor to serve as the moderator for today's discussions. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to welcome you all to the Ask Anything with Mr. Piotr Firlus, Charge Affairs from the Embassy of Poland in Jakarta. This event is part of the Europe Virtual Talks brought to Europe Day 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, Europe Day is a celebration of peace and unity in Europe that is being celebrated on the 9th of May. Every year, the European Union institution in Europe and its offices all over the world organize a number of activities for people of all ages to mark the day and raise awareness about the EU. Although we are refrained from celebrating the Europe Day in traditional physical manner, FPCI is delighted to work together with the delegation of the European Union in Jakarta in convening the Europe Virtual Talks Road to Europe Day 2021, which is started from the 1st of May until Saturday, the 8th of May. This series will act as a platform for the Indonesian public to directly interact and converse with ambassadors or representatives from the 10 European countries to gain further knowledge and insights about Europe, the EU, and its member states. Today, we are joined by Mr. Piotr Firlus, Charge d'Affaires, Embassy of Poland in Jakarta. Mr. Firlus has prepared a very special presentation for us and is ready to answer our many questions from you too. Hello, sir. How are you? Ladies and gentlemen, today we are also joined by students from FPCI chapters across Indonesia and general public who are turning in live in FPCI's YouTube channel. Thank you for participating and welcome to everybody. Before we move further, we would like to encourage all audiences to stay tuned until the end of the virtual talks because we are going to have a quiz where you can win interesting prizes from the European Union. The quiz will be held on Kahoot game platform. Please allow me to guide you on some important instructions so that you can be prepared to join the quiz. We suggest you to use a second screen or second device to join the game. To play, please visit www.kahoot.it. Once again, it's kahoot.it via your internet browser. Afterwards, enter the game pin that will be announced by the committee. And then please put your order confirmation numbers as your nickname. So instead of putting your real name, you must put your order confirmation number. You can find it in your email after registering to our event, and it should look like this. Furthermore, we also encourage you to share your moment with us from these virtual talks by tagging at FPC Indo and at uni_Europa with the hashtag EU4U and Europe Day 2021 on your social media posts. We also encourage you to ask Mr. Piotr Firlus anything via our YouTube live chat. Our committee will pick out the best questions and I will be reading them out to Sir Piotr. Please remember to keep your questions positive, constructive, and concise. All right, let us begin our great discussion today by watching a video from the Embassy of Poland in Indonesia.
Państwa zapraszam na plażę wakacje w pełni, ale nie
Looking at the big blue sky, thinking whether you and I will ever fall in love. I know for me, it'll be so.
Wow, it was a wonderful view of Poland. Now, without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Piotr to deliver his presentation. Sir, the floor is yours.
Terima kasih Mbak Afni. Selamat pagi. Selamat datang di Kedutaan Besar Polandia. Saya nama Piotr Firlus. Saya Chargé d'Affaires di Kedutaan Besar Polandia. Saya Wakil Duta Besar di Kedutaan Besar Polandia. Let me now switch to English. I would like to welcome you very, very much, all of you. Thank you very much for this opportunity to be with you. Thank you very much for FPCI, for your support, for your engagement. We are meeting here within the framework of European Union celebration of Europe's Day. It's a perfect opportunity to meet you and to discuss a bit about work of ambassador, about Poland, about the European Union. So I'm very, very glad to be with you and have that opportunity to present you some of my experience of my country, and I would be very, very happy to address any questions you have to me, and I hope that it will be useful for you, my experience and my understanding of diplomatic work. First of all, let me just say a few words about Poland. The distance between Poland and Indonesia is very, very significant. It's 10,000 kilometers. So our countries are located far away. I know that here in Indonesia and in Asia, you are used to using the map, the Pacific centric map, the map with the Pacific Ocean in the center. In that, from that perspective, Poland and the European Union is a bit like on the left-hand side, far away from the center of the gravity. But in Europe, in Poland, we use a map Atlantic center. So if you look at the world with the Atlantic Ocean in the center, you will see that Europe and Poland is in the center of the world. So please, this is let's say my first remark for you. if you think to become diplomats, if you are thinking about a career in the diplomatic service, one of the most important thing is to think out of the box, is to think a bit wider, not you have to focus on different perspective, on different contexts. It's something important, and I'm pretty sure that if you try to understand developments, global developments, regional developments in various perspectives, it would be better for you and your career. The chances, opportunities for you will be higher. So this is, let's say, like my first comment on that. Because let me just underline. I would like to at the very beginning, I would like to say something about Poland and the European Union, and also say something about work as a diplomat. Because as I suppose some of you join us today because you are thinking to be a diplomat. It's very good. It's very challenging, and I hope that my presentation will give you some insight on that job. Poland, as far as let's give me some basic information. Poland is located in Central Europe. We border with Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, and Latvia. Our population is 38 million people. Is almost 40 million people. So if we compare our population with Indonesian, it's not impressive, let's say. Indonesia, 270 million people is really big, for the biggest country in terms of population globally. But in the European context, we are sixth. In the European Union, we are sixth, the biggest country as far as population is concerned. It means that we are one of the biggest country in Europe. So it is also, you have to be aware that that European Union is the countries are smaller than Indonesia. So this is also the next context. You should go through to understand Europe, that there are countries like Poland or Germany, but also countries like smaller countries like let's say Luxembourg or Baltic states. So this is one aspect. Population. So in terms of nominal number, Poland is 37, the biggest country in terms of population globally. So Indonesia is fourth, we are 37. In terms of area, Poland is 69th country globally, with area 312,000 square kilometers. So to compare it with Indonesia, Indonesia is 16, the biggest country in terms of our area. So also this is the different scale. But when we think about economy, the distance is not so far. Polish GDP in nominal terms is almost 600 billion US dollars, and Indonesia is about 1,100 billion USD. So we are in the half of size of economy. Poland is half of the size of economy of Indonesia, and both our countries are developing fast. We hope that when the COVID situation is finished, we will return to our development path. So because we are fast developing countries, we hope that many synergies, many cooperation is possible between Poland and Indonesia. Just to one important process I would like to briefly present is Poland and the European Union. Poland joined the European Union in 2004. It means like 17 years ago. And in European integration process, First, it was a European Economic Community. Then European Union started in 1957. So Poland joined late to the European Union, to the integration process in Europe, but it was not like the Polish nation, Polish society will. After finishing of Second World War, Poland fell into the Soviet sphere of influence. So there was the Iron Curtain, the famous Iron Curtain in Europe, and Poland was in the eastern part under Russia, Soviet Russia domination, and we had no opportunity to join the integration process in Europe. After collapse of the communism in Europe in 1989. Then our economy, our foreign policy focused mostly on integration with the European Union, and finally Poland and other Central and Eastern European countries managed to join European Union in 2004, and now we are very happy member of the European Union, and because of that I am here today with you, and because of that I can present you some information about Poland and European Union. What is important to understand about European Union? This is the most important development within the European Union is common market. It means that all countries on the European Union, there is no border. There is free movement of goods, services, and capital. If you would like to establish, if me as a Polish citizen, I would like to establish business in Spain, in France, in Greece, no problem at all, no legal barriers. If I would like to sell my goods as a producer of shoes or any other devices, electronic devices, I can easily sell it in any country without any barrier, without any tariff and non-tariff barriers. If any big company or small company from France or from Italy would like to invest in Poland, to buy even bank, it was a very famous case, or factory or anything, there is no legal obstacles for that. So this is common market, and one of the biggest feature of common market, you should know, is the free movement of people. No borders, no passports, no necessity to apply for any permits for work. You can Polish citizen can go to any country of the European Union and start working in that country. Any European citizens can go to Poland and start working in Poland. So this is one of the very big achievement of the European Union. We are very, very happy of being within that framework. And what is also important to understand as a future diplomat for you is that because of this achievement, there is kind of very complicated institutional architecture within the European Union. Because if we are thinking about common market, it means that we can sell our shoes, Polish shoes in Spain, or Polish agri products in Spain, or any products. So there have to be certain standards, the same in Spain and in Europe, because the quality has to be the same. Because if our quality is weaker, we can sell our goods cheaper, because the quality is not as good. So we have to establish some standards for all environmental health related standards. And to do so, we have European Commission, we have European Parliament, and we have European Council. And the institutional architecture of that is very complicated, but it's something, if you are thinking about being diplomats, is something you must understand. It's not time for today for explaining this. I would be happy to meet you in the other opportunity and to explain you these three institutions, how it works, how countries pool their sovereignty to Brussels, to European institutions. But it's very important to understand, because I know that here is in Southeast Asia, governments and people and societies thinking about the integration, having as a example ASEAN. ASEAN is very, very, is a big achievement. Is a very important organization. It's very developed international organization, but one of the most important difference between ASEAN and the European Union is decision-making process. In ASEAN, consensus only. It means that all countries have to agree on the decision. In Europe, there is a majority of countries. If agree, the majority of countries, all countries have to follow the regulation. So it's possible that your country, Poland, has different position on certain regulation, and it lose the voting and has to follow the European Union regulations. So this is the big difference, and this is the big achievement of the European Union, that countries agreed on that decision-making process. So again, if you are thinking of a career as a diplomat, it's important to know, to understand European Union and the decision-making process in the European Union, because it's unique. It's unique. Only this organization has that decision-making process, and this is important. What else can I say about European Union that can be interesting, and Poland and European Union? If we are thinking about building our future competitive position, Poland and European Union, innovation are crucial, and Poland has very good universities, really world-class universities. Second, the oldest university in Europe, Jagiellonian University in Krakow, is one of the most famous. On the personal note, this is my alma mater. I'm very happy. I'm very happy of that. But we are pretty sure that the most important development in economy, in global economy, getting the cutting edge technologies, it requires cooperation between countries, and European Union opened that possibility. We can study. There are many programs for exchange of students, for scholarships, for joint projects between research centers and universities, and this is also one of the important feature of the European Union. Because again, if you are diplomats, you have to understand at least a bit of economy. Economy is, economy is everything. Let's say economy first. You can call it whatever you want, but economy is very important, and the biggest engine for economic growth is innovations. Innovation. If we are thinking about Poland in 50 years, in 20 years, innovations are the crucial for further economic development, and European Union, because of big budget, because of very well recognized academic centers, scientific centers, we can join together our efforts and build rocket science, other biotechnological science, and so on and so on. So this is one of the important feature of European Union, and this is one of the important part of our European policy, the Polish government European policy. Just to put aside the very serious topics, one important information: the capital of European Union, as probably you know, is Brussels, and capital of Poland, I hope that some of you knows, is Warszawa. Warszawa in English language, Warsaw. And let me just tell you one interesting story. I'm pretty sure you don't know, as we are now waiting on final decision of President Jokowi and Indonesian government to relocate capital from Jakarta when we are now to Eastern Kalimantan, Poland 2 times relocated its capital. So it was, we are experienced in that. But our relocation took place first from city of Gniezno to Krakow. It was in 11th century. And the second relocation from Krakow to Warszawa, to Warsaw, it was in 16th century, in 1569. So you see, long time ago. But anyway, we are experienced in that in relocation of capital. Let's say it's a bit different story, of course, than the huge process of relocation capital from Jakarta. What is also important to know about Poland, we have access to the sea. The Baltic Sea is the sea, is the Polish, we have one sea, the Baltic Sea, and beaches on the Baltic Sea. Indonesia has, many islands, many seas, and for us is a perfect opportunity to visit different islands and different regions. Probably, our big similarity, the colors of flag. The Indonesian flag, red and white. Polish flag, white and red. Sometimes it's quite a funny situation when we try to find out what's interesting in the Indonesian press about Poland, and we Google Polandia, and sometimes it's like information that somewhere in the distant area of Indonesia, in some distant island, the flag on the hospital was put in the different direction, like the Polish one, and we sometimes found that kind of information in media about Poland, but it's one of our big similarities, and this is I think one of the biggest. The most important thing that Polish society understands and knows about Indonesia, the flag, and of course Bali. I think that some people in Europe think that Bali is a different country because it's so popular. It's like the place everybody would like to go for holiday, and I can totally agree that Bali is. I visited twice. Because of COVID situation, it's not easy to especially with kids. I am here with 3 kids, so it's not easy to travel, but it's perfect place. Maybe what I can also add that our national coat of arms, our national emblem is also Garuda, the white Garuda, the white eagle. This is something you should know, and let me think what I can also add at the beginning. Okay, so let me stop at that moment. Okay, I'm open for questions. I really count on the very live discussion. So please ask the question. I will try to address them, and we'll continue our discussion.
Thank you, Sir Piotr, for your remarkable presentation on the important things to know about Poland, as well as the EU and how its decision-making process is interesting. Now, let's go ahead and dive into our question and answer sessions. I have been receiving some questions, but before that, I again encourage everyone who are watching from our YouTube to ask Mr. Firlus anything. Please remember to state your name and affiliation before submitting your question. All right, so our first question is from Wanda. She is based in Bandung. Sir, may I know what are the largest sectors Poland has invested in Indonesia? Are you planning to expand the investment to other sectors? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Wanda. It's a perfect question because investment is something we really try to focus on. And again, let me just say something about this question. One comment. investment and trade are one of the most important sphere of cooperation between countries. And how the investment works, what are the trade characteristic, the structures, and so on, is important to know. And so please be aware, if you are thinking about being diplomats, again, these two processes, these two way of cooperation, investment and trade, is crucial. It's crucial because you can build our synergies and our wealth together. And now going to questions. We would like to focus on many areas, and one of the biggest investment of Polish company in Poland is coal-fired power plant in Lombok. We started our investment in 2018. The big power plant is going to be built with Polish company, with Polish credits, and with Polish turbines. We hope that the process will be finished next year. There was some kind of problems with earthquake on Lombok. In Lombok, there was a COVID situation, of course. But this is a coal-fired power plant. But we also really count on the green technologies. We have many technologies regarding, for example, charges of electric vehicles. We would like to introduce that charges to the Indonesian market. We see the huge potential of electric vehicles in Indonesia. We know that the government, the Indonesian government, also perceived that sector as a very perspective. We also would like to introduce our ITC sector, because one of the most important feature of Polish economy is innovation, especially in ITC and cybersecurity. And we know that even before COVID, these sectors were crucial. And after COVID, as now we can see, we are online. So everything is going online. Many countries, governments, companies, institutions need some kind of secure connection, secure places online. And we are pretty sure that we can deliver that kind of solutions. But also we try to invest in mining sector. There are some companies that because our mining sector is very developed, so there are Polish companies that try to support Indonesian mining companies. And last but not least, one of the most globally known Polish company of Polish nail. It's called Inglot, and you can buy products of that company in Grand Indonesia and many other big malls in Bandung, in Surabaya, and in Jakarta, of course. So we try to build that investment portfolio, and we try to support as an embassy. This is one of our main tasks, and we are very closely monitor the last regulatory development in Indonesia, especially omnibus law, how it will trigger the investment, how it would attract the investment, and we try to present the new regulatory environment to our business, because you have to be aware that embassy can work and can encourage, can promote, but the decision is on the business side. So you have to match the business and give them the business people to decide to find the common ground. So this is one of our main goals, to matching business people from Poland and from Indonesia. And of course, again, regulations are crucial, and we see in Indonesia the effort of the government to improve the regulatory framework, and we hope that the investment from Europe and especially from Poland will increase in the near future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We have a second question from Maharani Nurul. She's from Cilacap. Good, good afternoon, Mr. Piotr. I hope you are doing well. I would like to ask you, how is climate change being handled in Poland? Thank you.
Climate change.
Climate change, yeah.
Climate change. Climate change is a huge challenge. We in Europe decided to be on the forefront of that policy. We would like to be a role model continent to tackle climate change. Because of historical reasons, in Poland, we have our own hard coal resources and brown coal resources, and we build our energy security among coal. It was for the last 50 years. And now the decisions are being made to shift from coal-oriented economy to the green-oriented economy. And we are introducing many economic incentives to build, windmills, solar panels, and bioenergy power plants, biogas power plants, and so on. And one of the main projects that are now on the table of Polish government. One of these is offshore windmill farms, the big farms of windmills on the Baltic Sea. We would like to start that, initiate this kind of projects and this kind of technologies on Baltic Sea. This is the one project, and second project still under consideration and still under discussion is the nuclear power plants. So this is also a zero emission source of electricity with different characteristics, different challenges, and this is one of our two biggest projects, how we can balance our energy mix from coal-oriented to a zero-emission oriented structure. Last but not least, we also perceive the important role of natural gas. And now we are building interconnection with Denmark and with North Sea gas deposits to build our energy security, because as from 10 years ago, the dominant supplier of Poland, the dominant gas supplier, it was the Russian Federation, and it was some kind of also always there was some kind of political risks connected with one dominant supplier. So now we started to build our interconnection with Western European countries and system, and we hope also that natural gas can help us to build our energy mix more environmental friendly to tackle climate change, and especially for sure the electricity sector is crucial. So we have to be aware that this is the most important, because in terms of transportation, there are plans of building our own electric vehicles. The decision has been made. Now there are preparation for that. We would like to trigger production of own electric vehicles, and we build very, very conducive regulation for electric vehicles. There is an obligation for charger in every cities, in malls, also highways, tollways. All these kind of roads have to include a charger for electric vehicles. So we hope that the transition from oil, the traditional cars to electric cars, it would be something considerable. And last but not least, the last about climate change, we also believe very much in railway. That is the transportation of goods and people, and our railway sector is expanding, and our railway sector is looking for cooperation with Indonesian railway sector. Last month in that place, I had a pleasure to moderate meeting between Polish Railway Association and Indonesian Railway Society Maska, and they together with Polish Trade and Investment Agency, they signed MOU to cooperate in railway sector. So all these aspects are on the table. We are building our transition strategy from coal dominated economy to zero emission or neutral emission dominated focused economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we have question from Wira Arif Budiman, Bogor. Hi, Mr. Piotr. My question is, how do the living expenses in Poland compare to Indonesia? Thank you.
Oh, that's a tricky question. Let me answer that question from the general point of view. You are Wira from Bogor, and ITB is in Bogor. IPB is in Bogor, and we have close cooperation with IPB. And last year we made some kind of survey about among Indonesian students who studied in Poland, and IPB students were the biggest group of students from Indonesia that studied to Poland. So this is important to know that Bogor is very, very important for us. But why I connect this topic with living expenses? Because one of the biggest advantage of Poland, if you are thinking about studying in Europe, is cost of living. Cost of living are much as moderate comparing to Western Europe, and it's all of important elements like tuition fee or like dormitory or products in grocery shops. They are not as high as in Western Europe, so it's much more affordable. But system of education and institutions are very, very high level and high quality. And how it is in comparing to Indonesia? The problem is that Indonesia is very different in different regions. Living in
Sir, you are muted. We cannot hear your voice.
Again, how about now? No? One, two, three. Is okay?
It's okay now.
Okay. So how to compare it with Indonesia? Cost of living in Poland and Indonesia, it's difficult because Indonesia is not like is different situation in different regions. Living in Jakarta comparing to Warszawa, to Warsaw, is similar, or sometimes I would say that Jakarta is more expensive than Warsaw, especially in terms of some kind of grocery products. But I think that we can compare cost of living in Jakarta or in Bogor with cost of living in the capital of Poland, in Warsaw, in Warsaw. But if you go outside Warsaw to different cities, big cities, the prices will be a bit lower. But what is important for you? Again, let me connect this answer with the diplomatic, let's say, context. If you are thinking about being diplomats, foreign scholarships are something very, very, let's say, important. To study one semester, 1 year, 2 years in other countries, to know language, to know other people, to know other culture, and to understand different geopolitical, geoeconomic, geostrategic perspective. So this is something very important, and studying in Poland is something I would say you should consider. We have some scholarships financed by the Polish government. You can find all information on our website. This is something. If you are thinking, some of you, if you are thinking about studying in different countries, please consider Poland. And again, cost of living are not as high as in Western Europe. Sometimes they are comparable with Jakarta. Sometimes they are lower in Jakarta than in Jakarta. So this is how I can answer this question. I hope that it's give you the picture of cost living in Poland. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think it's very important information for anyone who wishes to continue their study in Poland. Now we have Diki from Central Java. Diki is asking about something he read that says Poland plans pension fund for retired police dogs and horses. Could you maybe explain why dogs or horses need a pension fund? Thank you.
Sorry.
Pension fund.
Yes, pension fund for
dogs or horses.
So there is a news, the police horse and used in a police.
Okay. Actually, news to me, I must say. I didn't know. I didn't know that there is such a plan. I think that there is. I never heard about the policy of Polish government to finance any benefits, financial benefits for animals. So this is something new for me. Probably, if there are some kind of very rare kind of animals, some kind of support for the institutions that protect this kind of animals, it's possible. But if there will be some kind of new development, please email our embassy. I will try to find more information on that. I have to say that I am quite surprised with that information. Maybe it's something totally new, and again, I have no detailed information on that in that regard.
Sure, that's new to me too. Now we move to Bali. There is Rex from University of Udayana, and he is wondering what Europe Day means to you. Is there any celebration of Europe Day in Poland?
Yes, of course. Very good question. Of course, there are many ways of celebrating of Europe's Day in Poland and across the Europe. And here in Jakarta, we are celebrating of all European embassies together with FPCI. As I said, from Poland perspective, after the Second World War, unfortunately, we were in that eastern part of the under Soviet domination, and it blocked our potential and our will to join the European integration, the Western European integration. After collapse of the communism, Poland immediately, together with other Central European countries, decided to totally, change the foreign policy from the eastern direction, Moscow and Soviet Union, to western part of the world, to European Union, also to United States. And the day we joined the European Union, it was 17 years ago, 1st of May 2004. I remember. It was like very sunny day in Poland. We all gathered in the main squares of the cities, and there was many concerts and many events. So the Europe's Day and European integration really is something very important from Poland perspective, and we believe that our place in Europe and our working together of all European countries within the European Union, 27 countries of 27 European countries work together and it is something very beneficial for us, for Poland, and very beneficial for continent, for Europe as a whole, in terms of peace, in terms of prosperity and development. So the Europe's Day, you have to be aware that we are now meeting with me and my colleagues from other embassies just because of the European Union, and you know, there are many anniversary every day, but this one is important because European Union is such an important organization. So please be aware of that. And from Poland perspective, from my perspective, is also very important day. And we try to celebrate together with you. In Poland, there are other you know, events and kind of activities, concerts, and so on, just to underline the importance of the European Union for Poland and for the entire continent. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Rizka Aprilina. She's from Palembang. Good afternoon, Mr. Piotr. What strategies are being carried out to enhance ICT literacy in Poland? Thank you.
Okay, that's a perfect question, and very timely question, and important from Polish perspective and from Indonesian perspective. You know that ITC sector is growing. The growing importance, as I mentioned and we discussed earlier, before COVID and during the COVID, after COVID, the online movement, the online circulation of information, meetings, decision-making process, it will be more and more important. And in Poland, we try to, of course, increase our network, our physical connectivity of ITC. We try to, of course, integrate ITC subject to primary school, secondary school, universities, to enhance that potential and to trigger, to give all member of society the possibility to be integrated in that world. Of course, with kids or younger people that are used to doing everything on smartphones, it's quite easy. For people, the elderly, it's quite challenging. But there are many programs, you know, community-based program, local government-based program for different group of age to give them some kind of guidelines, yeah, how to deal with ITC sector. And we are also so this is about Poland, and we are also trying to monitor, to understand the Indonesian government efforts to you know to build that ITC networks across Indonesia, and it's quite challenging, taking into considerations geographical obstacles, but quite successful so far. And we are very much interested in joining of this process with our companies, with our know-how, with our technologies, as we believe that this is something inevitable in the next 1 decade or 2 decades to make society totally ITC literate, to make people know how to deal with ITC circulation of information and you know, e-shopping, buying, everything is in the internet. So this is how it looks like.
Thank you. Next is Raihan. He is from Al-Azhar Indonesia University. Hi, Mr. Piotr. I always watch Poland military parade on Armed Forces Day. What is the meaning behind Poland soldiers saluting with 2 fingers? Thank you, Swallow Polskie. I hope I said it right.
Okay. You know, I will have to ask our defense attaché what is exactly Polish saluting, but I think that they are NATO standards. But that sign. It's the origin is from non-military and is used not within the military environment, but this is something this is something. Maybe I will give you some context. After Second World War, as I mentioned 2 times before, unfortunately, Poland fall within that Soviet domination, and the communist system was oppressive. There was no possibility for people to develop own skills, to go abroad and to get a good job. It was a very, very oppressive and ineffective system, and Polish society was getting more and more unhappy, and the Polish workers decided to build the huge trade union, independent from the Communist Party, and the trade union has been called Solidarność, solidarity. Maybe you heard about that trade union, and the leader of that trade union, Lech Wałęsa, who got the Nobel Prize in 1986. He was unable to get that Nobel Prize, so his wife went to Stockholm and get the Nobel Prize. But Lech Wałęsa, the leader of Solidarność, he used that sign like a victory, V for victory. So this is why we very often use, and it means that we would like to win. And as we can see today, we are discussing, Poland within the European Union, and it was possible for Poland to join the European Union, and the collapse of communism in Europe was possible because of Solidarność, the big movement, 10 million people. 10 million people in one trade union that contribute very significantly to collapse of communism in Europe. Last year we celebrated 40 years of Solidarność, of solidarity of this trade union, and Monas, the monument in Jakarta, has been illuminated with the big sign Solidarność 40 years. Our embassy, together with Jakarta governor and Monas authority, we cooperate to celebrate that 40 years of that trade union. And the Solidarność is very, very much connected with that gesture, V, like victory.
Thank you. Belinda Nurfadila, she's from Bina Nusantara University, Jakarta. Hello, sir. How is the development of cultural and education cooperation between Poland and Indonesia? Does it need to be strengthened? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have very close cooperation with Binus University, so I can say that that cooperation is increasing. Also, with Binus University, we are very happy to have very good friends and partners in that university, but also other universities in Indonesia, in Jakarta. And this is a very good question and also very complicated. Our societies, our cultures, our history, they are totally different. But if we try to look at these differences a bit closer, we can see that, in terms of religion, Poland is very, very much a Catholic country. Indonesia is very much a Muslim country, of course. But if we see some values like family-oriented society, values, the attachment to friendship, to families, to community. This is very, very similar in Poland and in Indonesia. So even if we can easily identify many differences, some similarities are also possible. And we see the big interest of in Poland of Indonesian culture and history. People are very much interested because it's far away, it's exotic, it's beautiful. The music, the batiks and arts and dancing, everything. And we try to make as many common projects as possible. This year we planned, but unfortunately due to COVID, it was impossible to make a big exhibition of Polish batik in Museum Nacional in Jakarta. So to show that there are many interaction, many platforms of cooperation between Poland and Indonesia, and it's one of the most that cultural exchange, education exchange is one of our big priorities, and we try to build our cooperation in that regard in many projects. It's like projects oriented, field of activities by diplomats, exhibition, concerts, books, translations, everything. For example, let me say that one of the Polish main well-known author of science fiction book, Stanisław Lem, one of his the most well-known book, Solaris, the beautiful Hollywood-made movie based on that book, and in this year we try to translate his one or two of his books to translate to Bahasa Indonesia, to give you a possibility to see our Polish authors how they see or how they saw the future of mankind. And Stanisław Lem is one of the best, one of the most well-known author of science fiction book around the world. So there are many areas of cooperation, but again, potential is huge. We also see that Poland and Polish culture is very much, many people in Indonesia are interested in Poland, in Polish culture and history, and we try to present also our heritage, even taking into consideration our cuisine or Indonesian cuisine in Poland. Indonesia is very well known in Poland, nasi goreng, mia goreng. We have here our dumplings. We try to, it's called pierogi. We try to promote also here in Indonesia. So the potential of that cooperation is huge. And again, in diplomatic work, in diplomatic activities, this is the question how to, let's say, to trigger that cooperation, to increase that cooperation, you have to be creative. Creativity is crucial, and also in diplomatic work, how to make it as creative to promote, to encourage people to meet each other and exchange their understanding, their perspective on culture and history. So this is I hope the answer for that question.
Thank you. Now we have Ade from UIN Jakarta. Good afternoon, sir. Is there any Poland foreign policy cooperating with Indonesia in the sport field? Thank you.
In the sports fields, thanks for that question. This is something we have. Let's say one of the biggest similarity between Poland and Indonesia in sport is football. Football is very popular in Poland. Football is very popular in Indonesia. One of most well-known Polish player, Robert Lewandowski, is, as we know, very much well-known in Indonesia. One of football player from Indonesia, Egi Mulena. He plays in Lechia Gdańsk in Poland, and he's also known in Poland as a good player. And Poland in 2019, Poland organized World Championship football World Championships U21, the same like Indonesia should organize in this year, but because of COVID, Indonesia postponed that event. And so we try to build that cooperation, for example, for promoting Indonesian football in Poland, and maybe some Polish clubs, football clubs, will try to find some players in Indonesia. We are also very much impressed by Indonesia badminton team. how skillful you are in badminton. I try to play every Friday with my colleague Lucas Tambunan. He's our local colleagues here at the embassy. Every Friday morning we try to play, but he's a bit better than me. But he started to play in the primary school. I started 3 months ago. So this is also something we try to promote in Poland, that Indonesia is very good at badminton. This is national sports. But again, as far as sports cooperation is concerned, we can promote, we can build awareness of sport achievement of Indonesian in Poland and Polish team in Indonesia. But mostly, this is the cooperation that take place between sports club, sports community, sports people. Diplomats are a bit on the side of that kind of cooperation. The sport cooperation is made mostly by sport people that are engaged in sports sector.
Thank you. Seems like many people are curious about Poland. The questions keep going, but I will take the last 2 questions since we shall finish at 3:15. And it's Gina from FPCI Jakarta, UTA. Is there any security cooperations between Indonesia and Poland? Thank you.
Yes, this is perfect question, and this is something also. It's good to know if you are thinking in that diplomatic about that diplomatic career. Polish position in Europe, Poland's position in Europe is in the Central Europe, very central of Europe, and the only way to go from China to Western Europe or from Asia to Western Europe is without any geographical obstacles like mountains or seas, is via Poland, via Russia, Belarus, and Poland. And there are a train connection, direct train connection from China to Poland. Direct. It takes, like, I would say, I'm not pretty sure, but several days. But why I mentioned that one? Because Poland's location is like on the crossroad of Western Europe and Asia. Is like in the center of way from Asia to Western Europe. And if we think about that geopolitical location of Indonesia, Indonesia is located between Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean. Is also kind of crossroad. Is also kind of important connection points. So from that perspective, we can see that our security dilemmas, our security strategies can have some similarities. And as for now, we are trying to build as many connections as possible between a security community in Poland and Indonesia. We try to trigger cooperation between UNHAN, Indonesian Defense University, and Polish war study universities. We have defense attaché here who builds its own connection and with security, with TNI, with MOD. So the security issue is at the heart of working of our embassy, and we attach huge importance for that cooperation between Poland and Indonesia.
Thank you. Now the last questions. We're gonna have some fun. It's Kurnia from Padang, West Sumatra. Mr. Piotr, good afternoon. What are some Polish trivia or fun facts that you think foreigners must know about Poland?
Okay, that's many fun facts that I could say something that would be really because it was quite serious so far. Let me think. Okay, dumplings. Dumplings, pierogi. As let me just go through my notes, maybe, because it's a bit surprising for me to give something very funny about Poland, or maybe what can be surprising for you. One of the if a man meet a woman in Poland and he would like to show his respect to her, what he does, he kisses her hand. It's very formal, but you know, sometimes we see in our diplomatic work that some of Polish politicians would like to show respect for from women who came from abroad, you know, official delegations, and they try to kiss their hand, and they are totally surprised. Hey guys, what's going on? But it's like a very old Polish style of showing how respectful men are for women. So in some it's possible, but in some context you can you know you can find that that kind of behavior in Polish men. You know, sometimes they can do it, and we know that it's surprising. I'm pretty sure that for Indonesian women, this kind of behavior can be surprising and unexpected. But this is one of our tradition. So I have no many fun facts prepared for now. Next year, if I will have an opportunity to be here again, I promise I will prepare much many more fun facts to give you some fun you know some funny let's say Polish traditions and behaviors that are popular in Poland.
Thank you. That's surprising but interesting to know, sir. Okay, I'm sure everyone has many questions, but unfortunately, due to time constraint, we cannot take them all. And I'd like to thank Mr. Piotr Firlus, and thank you to all participants for your questions. That was indeed a very insightful discussion, and I believe that all of us here have learned a lot today. Before we close, the EU delegation actually has prepared a fun quiz for us. If you answer the question correctly, you will be receiving a goodie bag with cool gifts and prizes. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be using the platform Kahoot to do the quiz. It is very easy. Let me read out the instruction before we start. Please use a second screen or a second device to join the game. Simply go to www.kahoot.it. Second, enter the game pin, which is displayed on your screen. The game pin for today's game is 9296168. I encourage all participants to use their order confirmation number as their nickname. The order confirmation number can be found on your ticket in the email sent to you by Eventbrite. We highly suggest you to focus on your phone during the quiz because there might be a slight delay on the video stream to our YouTube channel. At the end of Kahoot, there will be 3 winners that will win a very cool prizes. Shall you be the winner? Please take a screenshot of proof of winning. Lastly, please contact our staff immediately after the quiz to claim your prizes by sending a direct message to @FPCI Indo, providing your personal details and screenshot of your Kahoot. We will give some time to wait for more players. Okay, we will give more time so more people can join. We'll wait until 30 so we could start the quiz. I would like to remind everyone to put your nickname as your order confirmation number instead of your real name. Okay, so now let's begin. What is the capital of Poland? Is it Warsaw, Krakow, yes, 29 people answered correctly. What colors are on the flag of Poland? White, red, and blue, or white and blue, or white and red, or white and green? 30 people already answered. It's white and red. On what sea is Poland's coastline? The Black Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, the Baltic Sea, or the South China Sea? I think Sir Piotr has mentioned this during the talks. Congratulations to those who answered correctly. Polish geologist who drew the first geological map of Indonesia archipelago was. Is it Bronislaw Malinowski, Maximilian Glombovic, Nine people answered correctly. Now move to the next question. Polish writer Stanislaw Lem is famous with books about dinosaurs, comics book, science fiction book, or he was a painter, not a writer. The last three questions. Where Maria Curie was born? The national coat of arms emblem of Poland is, I think this is easy because again, Sir Piotr has mentioned this during the talk. Is a lion, dragon, white eagle, or no coat of arms at all? The last question. Poland has border with the last and the easiest one. Is it France, Germany, or the United Kingdom, or Spain? Okay, congratulations to the winners. We cannot yet identify your name, but please do claim your process to our Instagram direct message. Thank you. Congratulations to all the winners. And with that, we have come to the end of the quiz. Congratulations again to all the winners. For a reminder, please contact us via Instagram direct message immediately after the quiz to claim your prizes. Kindly provide us with your name and phone number as well as a screenshot of your Kahoot for verification purposes. Before I close the session, I would like to get back to Mr. Firlus. Do you have any closing statement that you want to convey to the audiences, sir?
Let me thank you very, very much again. Terima kasih banyak for everybody for being with me today, for the opportunity for me to being with you and the time we spent together. Thank you very much for very interesting questions that required for me much of thinking how to answer these questions. I know that many other questions were on the queue, so I hope that there will be a possibility to meet again. We try to organize as many as possible guest lectures at different universities in Indonesia to discuss in details European Union decision-making process, Polish foreign policy priorities. All of this is very much specific, so I hope that in different settings I will have an opportunity to answer all these questions. But thank you again, all of you, for being with us, and FPCI and Afni, thank you very much for moderating that session. Perfect moderation. So have a nice afternoon, and again, it was a pleasure for me to be with you this afternoon.
Thank you, sir. The pleasure is ours. We finally have come to the end of our session today. Thank you so much, Mr. Piotr Firlus, for your valuable time. On behalf of FPCI, I would like also to extend our gratitude to the Embassy of Poland in Jakarta, the delegation of the European Union in Indonesia, and to all the audiences on YouTube who have participated today. I would like to remind everyone that we still have several as Ambassador Anything session that is part of the Eurovirtual Talks Road to Europe Day 2021. We have some posters that we would like to show you. Tomorrow we will have as Ambassador Anything with His Excellency Jari Sinkari, Ambassador of Finland to Indonesia at 10 AM, and with the Ambassador of Czech Republic at 2 PM. For more information and to register, please visit bit.ly Eurovirtual Talks. Once again, for more information and to register, please visit our bit.ly/Eurovirtual Talks. Thank you, and we hope to see you at our future events.
Thank you, terima kasih.
Terima kasih, sir. Thank you. Selamat sore.
Selamat sore.
Bye-bye.